Hmm. Good evening. Lovely to see you. Right. Okay. We're going to be doing some shizzle dizzle. We're going to be talking about today's news. We're going to be sharing some videos with you with regards to masks and all the other craziness that's going on in this gorgeous country of mine and around the world, where everywhere else ain't exempt. We're all dealing with the same fuckery, aren't we? So I'm going to be giving you some right. So what do I do this? I want to try and give you balanced information. You know, I'm all for the goodness and good stuff. The fire brigade, if they've been out and rescued a woman and her kids out of an house, I'm going to be shouting about that and bravoing them. And if someone in the NHS comes out and tomorrow morning finishes cancer and cancer's done and dusted, I'm going to be, wanting to give them a big squeezy cuddle, etc., etc., etc. But so I want to bring you just what goes on daily and what normal everyday people are talking about. Yeah, I've got, see my flat screen's got 3 lines in it. It's like I'm behind bars. I'm in prison. My flat screen's imprisoned me. So that's what I try and do, guys and girls. That's my goal. My friend James Goddard's been out. He's been out shopping today. The little rebel, I've seen him in Tesco's without his mask on. Oh dear, saucy boy, love it. Your lungs are really important. I'm going to play a video of a woman. Once I get this link up in a second with my YouTube and that. And nice Barnet, Dave. Craigie Russell. I've just got out of the bath, son. Just got out of the bath. Not done much with it. Just flicked a little bit of gel in it, a bit of L'Oreal. Just, gone like that and shook it into place. Actually, in fact, I normally take it off nowadays and just put it on its rest and comb it and then just plonk it straight back on. Some days it does look like I've got a syrup on. I've got to be honest. Looks like I've got a lump of carpet on the top there. Have a word. It is what it is. Afternoon. So James Goddard, you saucy little monkey, going out round town without your mask on. What you like? Love you for it. Your lungs. Look, when you come into the world, right? That separation from your mother, you got that umbilical cord, you're wrestling with everything. You're like Mike Tyson in the womb, First thing you do, you come into the world, you take your first breath of chemtrail, don't you? And you think, you then realise how important that breathing is to you. Yeah? But this woman's going to talk to you guys about the disconnect of people and how people are, how families are turning on one another. Why? Because she's going to explain something about a thing called a body politic and how you've all become a body politic, right? And she's just thought, I watched it. I'm going to play some nice videos today, guys. So sit back, chill out, get yourself a cup of tea, copy some digestives, whatever. If you're eating well. Oh, by the way, Subway ain't accepting cash. So if you like Subway, can I ask you to boycott it or consider boycotting it and bring them back to cash is king? Because I tell you what, right, all you rude boys and rude girls out there, all you lovelies, all you, I'm so judge me, I've got a little chip in my wrist or I've got my credit card and I just swipe it across. It's so convenient. It seems convenient right now, doesn't it? How convenient is this card situation? Beautiful. Get to Costa Coffee and you want a mocha chocolate latte. Yeah, you go for that with your mask on and you're looking all sexy. And you just get your finger out and you wipe it across and you look round at everyone. Then you go, look at me, look, yeah, check me out. All looks really cool. It's a really cool thing to do, right? Is to just swipe a little bit of plastic across the finger. But let me tell you, it ain't going to be so good when they turn your chip off for whatever reason. Say, for instance, you've got the ump one day and the police, you've done something, you won't pay a fine. You're thinking, fuck it, I ain't a slave. Excuse me, I'm not a slave. The system works for me. I don't work for it. That's how I see it. This is my creation. This world's my creation and your creation. Why are we paying to use it? Well, it don't make sense. It's fuckery, right? So anyway, but you don't play the ball and the police go, oh, yeah. And they get on, and all of a sudden you go into Costa. Oh, yeah, give me a mocha chocolate latte. and you swipe your card, and the woman behind the counter goes, "I'm ever so sorry, but you can't have that." What are you on about? Because cash is your go-to, right? You normally got a few squid lying around your wallet or your purse, whatever. It's a bit of freedom. Oh, don't worry, love. I'll pay by cash. Oh, no cash no more. Oh, it's gone. Oh. So what we're going to do here then? Well, the computer says no. Computer says no. Sorry about the tongue. Computer says no. Oh. All right then. Fantastic. Now here's a great one. Going to Subways. I want 2 of them. Up there, them big Subway things. Give me the foot long dog. Don't give me none of that 6-inch lark. I don't want it. Give me 2 of them. Ham and cheese, whatever, pineapple, guacamole. Stick it all on there. I'll have 3 of them over there. Oh, you hungry today? No, my firm sent me out to get me a thing. Oh, okay, cool. Big bags of Subway stuff, right? And you get to the till, and he goes, "That's 46 quid, please. Get a £50 note out." I've got hundreds of £50 notes. No, we don't take cash. Oh, we don't take cash. Oh, now we've got a bit of a problem because I don't do bank cards. You imagine how many people out there still, the elderly generation, bless them, that don't use bank cards. Can you imagine how people still get their little pension, go down, get their pension from the finger with their mask on, they got everything on. They go down and get their dolly weekly pension or monthly pension. I don't know how pensions are served up now. They get their cash and they rumble off down the high street. They get their so they don't have cards. There's still a massive. So what? We discriminating against them now? Are we going to make the 90-year-olds that are putting their teeth in Steradent? Are we going to? And they can't even work a computer, let alone want a computer. My neighbour, 84, just put a gearbox in his passion wagon, right? The other day, brand new gearbox, took the old one out. He's dug his own pit, concreted it, put a new one in. He's flying down the road in there. He's done it all himself. I'm like, I want to be like this man when I get to that age, right? No, I says to him, go online and get, oh, no, I can't work a computer. What are you chatting about? No, Mrs. does all that. Really? Oh, he won't have a computer, won't even look at a computer, won't even touch a computer. Yeah? He don't want to know. He ain't even got a card. He ain't even got a mobile phone. The man goes to his missus. They're millionaires. He says, I'm going to put petrol in me, diesel in my little putt-putt. She might give him 20 quid and he go and fill it up. He ain't interested in cards. And when he gets the card, she lends him the card. He don't know what to do with it. He gets all like, oh, better not lose this. Gets all excited, right? So we are now picking on them. So anyway, this is how you get back at all these people that want cashless, right? You go in, you fill up your trolleys with food, you pile it all on the conveyor belt and you're prepared to get the other end. Cash, no, righto, see you later. Just fucking walk out. Walk out. They'll soon get the hump. We've already seen many retail outlets now doing a U-turn, saying, yeah, we've got a bit of a problem here. Cash is king, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't keep cash going, you're in Hunger Games. Boom, another one dead. Yeah, they're just going to switch you up and turn you off. Do you realise how dangerous this is? Anyway, we're getting to the topic of the day. Thanks for tuning in this afternoon. Love it to see you as always. I'm going to make myself look very small. And we're going to be doing some, just bear with me. Look, I'm doing resistance exercise. I can't help myself at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a keep fit junkie. Just get me a green leotard and call me the Green Goddess. Let me tell you, I am there, right? I'm telling you. I'm so into it all at the moment. It's unbelievable. So let's have a look at my history and then we're going to get into some nuts and bolts. So I want you to listen to some of these things that we do today here, ladies and gentlemen. Right, so we're going to start with this beautiful, beautiful soul, right? Now, this woman is from Dorset. If you need a translator, either get on one of them devices and do instant translations or you might want to watch it back. I'm only teasing. She is absolutely gorgeous. Right? Now, we're going to be just check this out. I don't know. Can we hear her?
For their futures, more so than for my...
Right, so hang on. I'm just going to go back to the beginning. We're going to start her story. Right, so consider me the alternative media. All right? You're not going to get no nonsense here. You're just going to get it straight up as we like it, right? I've just turned the volume up because you want to be able to hear this beautiful, beautiful lady. And we're going to address the things because what's happened is, ladies and gentlemen, we're all turning against one another. All right. It seems to be that we're all turning against one another, and we seem to, we're looking at other people as though they're scumbags. They're potentially harboring some deadly disease, and that might be the case. But listen, never, ever, ever lose your humanity.
Hello to people listening. My name's Fiona, and
Right, so here we go. Here's Fiona. Fiona's got the floor for the next 10 minutes, and you want to be paying attention to this woman, let me tell you, because she's gorgeous. Let's go full screen. Right, here we go.
My name's Fiona, and I live in Dorset. I'm 59, and I've got 2 grown-up children, and I've got 2 granddaughters. And I'm writing this because I feel so concerned for their futures, more so than for my own, as I'm 59 now. So, I feel that it's my responsibility to speak my truth, and I'm very grateful to Anna for giving me that platform to do that. So forgive me for looking down and reading, but I just found it easier to express myself through my writing. I've entitled this piece, The Body Politic. The body has become a political instrument. That is to say, it feels like my body now relates to the public affairs of my country where I was born and have lived my whole life so far. We came thrusting headlong into the world as babies.
Hang on, are you seeing this? I think my device is not caught up. Hang on a sec. Today's news, let's have a look. I'm not sure whether you're seeing this. Hang on, let me come back out of here, go back into StreamYard. No, you're not. I didn't think you was. I didn't think you was. So this screen share. Damn, what happened there? I lost my screen share option. I beg your pardon. I'm begging your pardon. Let me take you back to the beginning. Because I'm sat there thinking, why ain't I seeing... It's a good job I'm monitoring this.
Hello, Anna, and hello to people listening. My name's Fiona, and I live in Dorset. I'm 59, and I've got 2 grown-up children, and I've got 2 granddaughters. And I'm writing this because I feel so concerned for their futures, more so than for my own, as I'm 59 now. So, I feel that it's my responsibility to speak my truth, and I'm very grateful to Anna for giving me that platform to do that. So forgive me for looking down and read.
It seems to be stopping me sharing. Can you see that on the screen at the back? If you can just let me know, you can see that on the back. It's done it again. Yeah, I've got no idea why it's doing that. Let me go full screen. Screen share. We're going to go full screen. Hang on a sec. It might be jumping off because I can't see her having a monetized channel, in fairness. But we'll have a go. So let's have a look, see how long this stays up for.
I've got 2 grown-up children, and I've got 2 granddaughters. And I'm writing this because I feel so concerned for their futures, more so than for my own, as I'm 59 now. So, I feel that it's my responsibility to speak my truth, and I'm very grateful to Anna for giving me that platform to do that. So forgive me for looking down and reading, but I just found it easier to express myself through my writing. I've entitled this piece, The Body Politic. The body has become a political instrument. That is to say, it feels like my body now relates to the public affairs of my country where I was born and have lived my whole life so far. We came thrusting headlong into the world as babies, gasping for breath, a process of separation from our mother. We must now go it alone. We take our first breaths, a monumental moment of establishing our autonomy in the world, and everyone is relieved and happy that the baby is thriving and doing what a baby is supposed to do, breathe the life-giving invisible air, oxygen that supports our beautiful body. Parents nurture the child, feed, clothe, love, educate, teach life's tough lessons, who to trust, what to mistrust, how the world works. It all starts with those first gasping and life-affirming breaths. Anyone who is trained in first aid knows that the airway is the first thing you check. Can the person still breathe? Is their breathing being obstructed in any way? If so, why? Is there a physical obstruction or a mechanical problem? The body and the very act of breathing have become political. Remember the definition, relating to public affairs. Are we being obstructed from our very birthright that sustains and gives us life, our breath? Our bodies, in the space of a few short months, have become dirty sources of contagion, a mass of creeping rot that is a very threat to our fellow humankind. Now, our bodies have a secret weapon that is invisible to not only everyone else, but also to our own self. We have the capacity to infect and potentially kill other people, and no one can be sure who the infected are. Note too the widespread adoption of the word infection. We used to get the flu or catch cold, but now we are infectors who may be infected too. We are being reprogrammed to believe that the world is a dangerous place, and more so day by day. We are passive recipients of the virus. Our bodies act as our enemies. So too do the bodies of our fellow humankind. No one can be trusted, not even our own flesh and blood, let alone strangers. Our bodies now harbour a secret weapon, a weapon so deadly that we don't even know it's there as we show no symptoms. We are all potential killers. Don't underestimate the effect that this assertion has on the minds of people. We are all culturally squeamish about death, almost to the point of righteous indignation that it could even happen to us at all. Culture churns out the belief that these days we all live longer and anything we don't like about our body may be fixed. No wonder we're all scared at the prospect of the one truth of our lives. In addition, death itself has been taken into the institutions, for example, hospitals, care homes, and funeral parlours. Our deceased bodies in the past would have been cared for by our loved ones and in our own homes, perhaps allowing us to accept this transition in a more realistic way. Now it is a big deal. We are asked by cautious medical staff and funeral directors whether we wish to see the body, as if the body is now something to be afraid of. Most of us, me included, don't want to see a dead body. Our cultural attitudes to the body, I believe, have contributed to the relative ease with which the current situation has quickly made us afraid of our bodies and excessively critical of the bodies of others. They have become the enemy, untrustworthy. Seeing is definitely not believing. This virus is so small and deadly that no one can see it, not even the specialised medical fraternity, who to my knowledge to date have not yet managed to isolate the RNA strand. I will leave the science to them though. The virus and its host, our body, is now in the political arena. Our bodies must now be managed by the outside institutions for the greater good. We're all in it together, etc. The way we relate to each other is no longer the healthy option. We must change centuries of relationship to one another in order to survive as a species. Our method of socialization that has served us well for millennia will no longer serve us. Sociability, our very basis for survival, must now be challenged. We can no longer operate for the good of the group by being sociable. In fact, it is the opposite. We must regard our fellow humankind as threats. In spite of the forces that persuade us otherwise with daily doses of doom and gloom, I believe that most people basically are good. They are moderate and self-managing, and all they want to do with their lives is live peacefully and happily with their friends and family and just get through each day as best as possible.
Amen.
Of course, we all squabble, bicker and fall out with each other, but we do this because we love each other and want to be relational with each other. If we didn't want this, why waste our time arguing? Our very ability to survive depends on our mostly cooperation and not on the dystopian ways of being that we are now being forced to live by. What will happen to our society if we mistrust each other and view each other as sick and capable of destruction? Whoever or whatever is driving this is, in my opinion, very aware of the psychological operation, and we are being manipulated into the willing participation of seeing our friends and neighbours and strangers as lethal weapons. This is not the first time this has happened in history, of course, and you can easily read all about that. Personally, to frame the things that I feel so sad and worried about are my grown-up children and granddaughters' futures. I feel very afraid for them and also very angry. I am very angry that the sources of information available do not allow any kind of debate. In my view, this is a form of abuse, and it feels like millions of people are being slowly tortured to a state of insanity by a very one-sided diatribe of fear-mongering at every opportunity. This is burrowing into my brain like a maggot, waiting to transfigure itself into a new identity. This maggot is peddling a sense of defeat, powerlessness, and affecting rational thinking and common sense. It's trying to persuade me that there is greater good at work here. When the maggot changes to a pupae, we will no longer be able to see what metamorphosis is taking place. Much like the pupae, everything that used to be out in the open area of socialism and discussion is being closed down and hidden away. That is to say, social gatherings are regulated in terms of venues and numbers, religion is regulated, all the arts are cancelled until further notice. In fact, all the places where people might get together to celebrate a shared cause and join together in their number is effectively shut down. There is another word we now use freely, and that is the word allowed. Are we allowed to do this? Or we'd all say, this is a well-known instrument of torture, changing the goalposts randomly and without any rational thinking behind the measures. Cognitive dissonance. In other words, we know deep in our hearts and souls that none of it makes sense. And now the masking, not for any proven reason, conducted by proper trials, which might include both qualitative and quantitative methodologies, control groups, forums, and the such like. Why is there no data? Where is the risk assessment? Has there been one done? Everyone is required to conduct proper health and safety risk assessment these days. Surely a policy that involves most of the population would mean a proper investigation and study into the risks surrounding the issue of face coverings. Where is it? It should be publicly available, surely. Symbolically and throughout history, masks may be icons of exclusion and inclusion. Think about it for a second. Who is wearing one and who isn't, and what might that imply? A mask will necessarily impede our breathing, our birthright, the first thing we do when we burst into the world to take those first breaths. Masks give a powerful, non-verbal signal to others. I don't speak to you, and you don't speak with me. Link that to the restrictions in our lives, to our freedoms to gather socially. You do the math, as they say.
Good, isn't she?
To conclude, this feels very dark and sinister to me. It's no exaggeration to say that I feel like Pandora's box has been flung open and all the evil is now loose and attempting to rise up like a dark eclipse blocking the sun. I don't have any solutions, but offer this. We need to stay strong in our own power,
Amen.
Speak our truth and stay in the light. Keep yourself away from the maggot burrowing conditioning. Yes, inform yourself and consider all angles, but avoid the maggot, for that maggot is determined to feed off your fear. Look at those dark shadows on the wall and say, yes, I acknowledge you, but you are an illusion. Remember your birthright. You are here to live,
Amen.
To be relational with others if you so wish.
Amen.
You were not born to be made to feel contracted and afraid.
Amen.
Speak your truth wherever you
Bless. Bless her lady. Bless her heart. What a fantastic woman. Eh? What a fantastic... She is from Dorset. All right, my lovers. Her channel has got... I'll give you the channel. The a channel is called Anna Breeze. All right? ANNABREES. let's share the link. Add to queue. No, I don't want to add it to queue, do I? Not that kind of queue before you all start. You're so quick, you lot. I really have to be on top of you. She's an amazing woman. Bless her heart for doing that. Now she said, I'm doing this because I've got concerns, right? Now, and she's right. She absolutely has massive concerns. Yeah, and I don't blame her. Look, I like she said, we didn't come into the world to live like this. When did we come into the world to live like this, people? When did this? Oh, get ready, get used to your new normal. Yeah. Oh, stay safe. Stay safe. Are you allowed? Are you allowed to do this? Are you allowed to do? Come on, peeps. You're bigger. You're better than this. You really, really, really are. Let me tell you. Now, this is tonight, the news. I'm going to show you some beautiful videos. Hopefully, they're going to empower you to go on to greatness. Greatness is where you should be. You should be in greatness. Absolutely. You should be. This is where we need to be operating from, right? So let's, I'm going to play you. This is a fantastic documentary, right? This is called The End of the Cabal. All right. Hopefully you should be able to see this. I don't know why it was kicking me off earlier. Right now, listen, all I'm going to say is if you get used to this new normal, you're in for a hell of a ride. I mean, you're in for a hell of a ride. They're not mucking about now, ladies and gentlemen. It's all hands to the pump. This new world order that we've all been talking about the last few years is out in full view. It is giving it some old large, let me tell you. All right. So if you want to know what's going on and kind of where we are, I'll share the links in a little while, Trev. Yeah, I don't know how to do that quite yet. Actually, I probably might be able to. I'll see what I can do while we're playing this video. We're in this time period, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I don't come in here and do this to waste my time. I don't come in here to spin you the yarn or spin you a line or try and confuse you or detract from your greatness. In fact, I want to enhance your greatness, make you really strong, make you realise who you are, make you see your birthrights, and you're not a body politic. That's a nonsense. But the institutions have taken over and they've gone down a very, very dark path, ladies and gentlemen. But we are the light, all right? We are the light. Now, this little documentary, it's only 15 minutes long. You're going to really, really enjoy this. I mean, proper enjoy, all right? So I'm going to make myself look a bit small again. That's it. And then we're going to come back into... And I played this the other day, and it is blinding.
Who can say just when it all began? The kings of Babylon, the pharaohs of Egypt, the Byzantine emperors, or the rise of the House of Wettin with the Holy Roman Empire. All those beginnings are lost in the mists of time. Its end is upon us and shall be celebrated for 1,000 years to come. So just how did we get ourselves into this? How did we allow things to get to this point? Just as a frog tossed into boiling water would cry out and do everything in its power to escape the water that burns it, perhaps if our current situation had come about swiftly, we too would have cried out and put an end to the tyranny. But when executed over a period of 1,000 years or more, we have grown accustomed to the heat. Like the frog whose water is slowly boiled, we sit here complacently, taking the pain and trying desperately to suppress the persistent intuition that life need not be so fraught with suffering. Sometimes this inborn insight rises momentarily to the surface, and we indignantly cry out against the latest senseless war in the Middle East, or the plight of those ravaged by disease or starvation, knowing that some nameless Arabs never really posed us any real threat, or that a lack of food and medicine was never the real problem. The more discerning amongst us delve a little deeper and see beneath the shiny veneer that the mainstream media present to us. They catch glimpses of the world outside the box and stumble upon the questions from which there's no coming back. Can it possibly be that our greatest experts are unaware of the dangers of injecting the population at large with known toxins, along with substances that open the blood-brain barrier. When the idea of using mercury to fill people's teeth was put forward, was there really not a single person amongst our so-called specialists that came forward to point out that mercury is the most toxic non-radioactive element known to man, and that placing it in our mouths would be a terrible mistake? That toxic fluoride would not be good to put in our drinking water? That lead in petrol would not put millions of tons of a highly toxic substance into our atmosphere and environment? That known excitotoxins that destroy our neurons and central nervous systems would not be a good way to flavor our foods? That high-frequency radiation-emitting devices known to destructure water, strip electrons from cells, and damage DNA would be a bad idea to carry around in everyone's pocket? That things that would normally cause cancer in a healthy person are the best means we have to treat people with cancer, whilst non-toxic, benign plants with anti-cancer properties and no dangerous side effects should be heavily restricted to the point of being illegal, with severe penalties for possession and use. And on it goes. When one begins to scratch the surface, it's really not hard to see what drives the conspiracy theorists. For as time passes, conspiracy theory becomes conspiracy fact. The trance of the masses is indeed deep, for who in their right minds can ignore one of the greatest presidents of all times who warned us explicitly?
Well, we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies primarily on covert means for expanding its sphere of influence, on infiltration instead of invasion, on subversion instead of elections, on intimidation instead of free choice, on guerrillas by night instead of armies by day. It is a system which has conscripted vast human and material resources into the building of a tightly knit, highly efficient machine that combines military, diplomatic, intelligence, economic, scientific, and political operations. Its preparations are concealed, not published. Its mistakes are buried, not headlined. Its dissenters are silenced, not praised. No expenditure is questioned, no rumor is printed, no secret is revealed.
And we all know what happened to him. Ironically enough, the term conspiracy theorist began to gain serious traction only in the wake of Kennedy's death, with the explosion of independent thinkers who could clearly see that the official lone shooter story just didn't add up. As damage control, the CIA sent a directive to all of its bureaus titled Countering Criticism of the Warren Report, whose aim was to provide material countering and discrediting the claims of the conspiracy theorists, by such means as alleging that parts of the conspiracy talk appeared to be deliberately generated by communist propagandists, as well as to employ propaganda assets to negate and refute the attacks of the critics. Hand in hand with the rise of the elite cabal behind this monstrous conspiracy came the rise of the conspiracy theorists, who began to see the undeniable outward signs of their secret plans. All those who questioned the official narrative were tarnished with the term conspiracy theorist, a term that the CIA's propaganda efforts had made synonymous with anti-American, communist, crazy, and dangerous. But as the plans for a new world order became more brazen and undeniable, so too did the army of awakened conspiracy theorists grow. Once upon a time, the common folk were more easily led. Over the centuries, the cabal's grip on power proceeded slowly but steadily, directing and contriving events from the shadows, and through a hidden network of secret societies that took over the banking system and set nation against nation in order to weaken them and drive them into debt. It bought out the important newspapers, publishers, and media outlets so as to ensure that everyone followed the prescribed narrative. They even developed their own controlled oppositions so as to give the public the illusion of free choice and allow them to feel the possibility of rebellion. But even this was guided by their hidden hand. They developed technologies that could be monetized and suppressed those that couldn't. They monopolized the petroleum and oil industry and cheated us into believing this natural resource to be limited and scarce so as to manipulate and inflate its price. They took over healthcare by undermining all methods except allopathic medicine, which is where the big money could be found, and that they monopolized. They took control of our food through the consolidation of agriculture into monstrous multinational corporations that poisoned our food and biosphere with known toxins and carcinogens, and fed us pain and terror through factory-farmed livestock, whose treatment no living being should ever have to endure. They bought the politicians they needed to control the world's key nations, and those that couldn't be bought were blackmailed or assassinated. They contrived events and so-called accidents to further their agenda and remove those who opposed their plans, and then flooded the world with propaganda to ensure the dominant narrative was kept. They infiltrated and subverted maritime commercial law to create a new jurisdiction of admiralty law, and then used the birth certificate to register us as chattel and steal our estates through the unwitting acquiescence of our parents. They capitalized our names to create commercial vehicles for their system, a method the Romans used to strip all rights from their slaves, and we, knowing no better, went along with it and assumed that the name was ours. As they edged closer and closer to their end game, they began to emerge from the shadows, and their hubris led them to speak openly of their intentions. What they hadn't realized were the enemies that they had made en route to world domination, and little did they know that one of their boldest moves yet would consolidate their enemies into an alliance whose common goal was to stop their plan at any cost. The events of September the 11th, 2001 were executed by them for many reasons, but what most people don't know is that on that day they pulled off a gold heist of monumental proportions. Before the communist revolution in China in the late 40s, several of the dynastic royal families who knew what was coming fled the country with their immense fortunes. Many tons of their gold was held in vaults under the Twin Towers and was due for repatriation on the 12th of September.
Wouldn't you
The
know?
blatant theft of this gold angered some very ancient and powerful dynasties
Didn't it just?
and led to the consolidation of an alliance to take down the cabal who had simply grown too big for their boots. Until that day, there were a number of different groups on the world stage vying for power and defending their own interests. But 9/11 was ample proof to all of them that one group, the Illuminati, the deep state, the cabal, call them what you will, would stop at nothing to achieve complete world domination. For the first time, the other groups knew that they could either work together to take down a common enemy, or that this enemy would overrun them all. And so began the formulation of the plan by this worldwide coalition we shall call the Alliance. Love him or hate him, essential to this plan was the election into the most powerful post on the planet of a man who was not a part of the corrupt elite, not a member of their secret societies, a man who had no need for fame or fortune, for he already had both. For years, agencies like the NSA had become weaponized against the people so as to surveil and monitor our every movement and communication. Little did they know that this whole worldwide infrastructure would be turned against them when Trump came to power in 2016. As the presidency of the most powerful country on the planet fell into the hands of the Alliance, the hunters became the hunted, and all of their sordid secrets and the fully documented evidence of their despicable crimes against humanity could be used against them. In reaction to this great loss, the cabal turned their media empire loose, and so began an information war, the most brutal and desperate attack on a sitting president that the world has ever seen. As their pillars of control began to fall one by one, and their strongholds were neutralized, the ferocity of this attack only increased, spreading outright lies, instigating false impeachments, and baseless accusations of collusion against a man who was at the forefront of undoing all that they had worked so hard to achieve, so as to bring about their perdition.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
One by one, their main sources of income were destroyed. Saudi Arabia was cleansed of corrupt players and their trillion-dollar petroleum monopoly taken from them. Their control of the worldwide drug trade was dismantled, as was their lucrative and reprehensible network of child and human trafficking. And the fraudulent Federal Reserve banking system was effectively abolished by placing it under the jurisdiction of the US Treasury.
Boom!
Under the protection of the Alliance, other countries who had been held hostage by them shook off their hijackers to embrace freedom, and decades-long projects to consolidate the cabal's power began
Evening,
to crumble
Docker.
and fall. The good news is that the Alliance, the good, the true, and the beautiful, have already won. We are currently witnessing the checkmate. There is nothing more that can be done. There is nowhere left for them to go. They know this, and yet the game is still in play. As a last-ditch effort to gain the upper hand, they have engaged their scorched earth policy, a military strategy that aims to destroy anything and everything that might be useful to the enemy. To wreak chaos and destruction is all they can do as they are slowly rounded up and arrested. Hence the plandemic, the rioting and looting, the dividing tactics of race baiting and political extremism, the absurd attempts to curtail and restrict our freedoms, and the incessant fear-mongering. We are currently witnessing the death throes of the legacy system, and it's not a pretty sight. Much like an abused child, when their abuser has been locked up or killed, the ramifications of the abuse lingers. What must be done to move forward is to heal from the wounds. There are still many people who are unaware of the abuse that has been perpetrated against humanity. They are still deeply dependent on a false worldview, perpetuated by the education systems and propaganda machine of the cabal. Like in the movie, being unplugged from the Matrix is a traumatic experience if done too quickly. In fact, most will kick and scream so as to maintain their false ideas intact. They will vehemently attack all those who attempt to awaken them from the comfort of their slumber. Be patient, develop compassion in dealing with these people. Realize that they are like the abused child. Tenderness and understanding are paramount.
Yeah, I
agree. If you are genuine in your desire to help, you must do what it takes.
Pay attention.
And not allow your desire to be right to overpower your desire to do what's right.
There you go.
We're on the verge of a golden age of unprecedented proportions. All aspects of our society are being re-engineered. The solutions are already there. Many have been suppressed for 100 years or more. A free and fair monetary system, independent free energy devices, non-invasive medical interventions that can effectively do away with all illness, sustainable clean water and food production methods. This is the inheritance of humanity,
Amen.
Born of the collective effort of mankind over thousands of years of toil and struggle. Deep down, we have always known that this was possible. Many of us have looked with disbelief at modern society with a profound intuition of our potential, puzzled at how we could have got it so terribly wrong. We didn't. We were tricked and deceived. We assumed that others had a conscience like the one that keeps our own actions in check. We let cold, heartless psychopaths take control of almost everything, and we paid the price heavily for our mistake. Now with the deceivers out of the way, let's see just what we are capable of. The place is here, and the time is now. There is much to do to reverse the wrongs and make them a right. So, what are you waiting for?
Yeah.
That's powerful, wasn't it? I know you felt that. You probably felt that there. Let me tell you, you felt that video. Unbelievable. The Scorched Earth project is to eradicate. Now, it is the end of the cabal. Look at what's going on with the riots. Look at all the statues coming down. Look at all this mask stuff. Look at this pandemic. Look at the hospitals. Look at everything. That is their plan. They're not going to win. They're going to fail miserably. They're all going to prison. We're going to lock them up. The dark is going, ladies and gentlemen. We're coming back to light. We're coming back to light. Billy, any chance of them templates? Oh, the EDP and EOL? Yes, mate. Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. Amen, Dr. Dawson. D. Allen, watch Danny Ashley. The solution they do not want to know about. Boom. I'm telling you. Because I'm sat here thinking, why is all this wicked stuff going on? What's going on with all the beating up, all this BLM? Why is the statues coming down? Why are the police not doing nothing? Why are the police taking the knee? It's their scorched earth policy. They know they're losing, so they're going to try and destroy everything in the midst. They don't win. They're not going to win. We as decent people, upstanding people, the alternative media, we're not going to tolerate it. As a people, we're going to come together and we're going to shine so bright that the darkness has to run. All right? That's what we're going to do. Now, many of you out there, you've all felt like round pegs in square holes, right? Am I right? You've all felt like I don't fit in. My friends are all turning their back on me. And I know that you've all sat there in certain times and days and thought to yourself, wow. And you felt that little bit of doubt and that little bit of guilt and this. But listen, I'm going to play something now and it's going to put it all just so beautifully into perspective of who you are, who you all are. All right. And you're going to go, wow. All right. You really are. You're going to love what I'm going to play you next. And it is going to show you exactly who you are in the world and the path that you're all on. Now, I know I've met many of you. And for those that I haven't met, I know just by your energy and your comments that you feel that there's something terribly wrong, that our kids and our future generations absolutely have to stand up and be counted. Now, look, I'm someone that just loves life. I love my golf. I love working out. I like working. I love doing all sorts of things. But I'm just someone that paid attention a few years ago when the darkness started to happen, right? And you don't worry about arguing with your family. It's not about being right. It's about doing what's right. As that video just said, don't get down on them. Just shine on them. Be that little bit of light that just shines and flickers, right? They know who you are. Your family members and your friends know you are. They know you're on a journey down the path. Do you know how hard it is to stand up for yourself in this world right now? Do you know how hard it is to stand up in the face of all this adversary between put your mask on, don't put your mask on, being dragged out your car and beaten with a stick, having triplex thrown in your face when the police smash your windscreens in and drag you out? They're violent people and they're desperate because they know they're losing. They absolutely know they're losing. And they know that this humanity is coming, decency and goodness and that is all coming. But I'm going to play this video. And I also want to play you a little bit of a video, time permitting, of Tracy Blackwell and the crew at a police station and the amount of militia in the police station and the men with guns and machine guns. It should haunt you. If it doesn't haunt you, you are really not paying attention. Okay? Our public servants should never, ever be in the position that they're in, that they've currently got with all these weapons and machine guns, because I guarantee at some point they're going to pull them triggers. There's going to be incidences in this country where that flashes, as we've seen in dictatorships throughout the world when it becomes despotic. Now, I only hope that England is strong enough and the people of this country are strong enough to fight back. I really do. I hope and pray you're all strong enough to fight back. All right. Now, this video is going to explain to you all who you are, the path that you're on, okay, and why you're here, and why you're currently doing what you're doing. You really are going to love this. Just bear with me. If I can get this thing back to the beginning. Just wait a second. You're going to love this.
They have a saying, it's lonely at the top. That's actually correct. But it's really lonely at the top when it comes to a conscious awareness or a spiritual level. So does this apply to you? Do you feel weird? Do people seem to class you out? Do you seem to have to dummy down your conversation or the way you think around other individuals? You don't have much friends? Your life seems lonely? It doesn't seem like you're the only one on this path and everyone around you is looking like they're normal and you may look like you're abnormal? Do you have feelings or these energies you keep picking up from people? Do you like to be alone most of the time? When you go into crowds of people, you tend to get a little bit of anxiety. You tend to feel stressed. So do you feel like, hey, is something wrong with me? Well, I'm here to shed some light for you. I have good news for you. You are actually what's known as a chosen one. You, my friend, are a spiritual, multi-dimensional being. Light worker, starseed, awakened, however term you want to use it, but you are that. So what's going on here? Well, what's happening here, you were sent here from another dimension, God, the universe, some individuals say another planet, another world, and when you got here, you remembered who you are. And now you're becoming awakened. That's the beauty of this. You are now an awakened soul. So when others are looking at you and you feel lonely, the loneliness you feel is the inner search or the butterfly effect, where you've been blossomed and bloomed to become the true version of who you are. Now, this can get pretty lonely, or you may feel left out, but all that is just an illusion. That's being projected by the ego mind. See, the ego mind will take conceptual reality and make it personal. It takes pride, it takes feeling to be with someone, it takes all these things and puts you in a limit and says you're not good enough. So that's what you're basically feeling. So again, that's an illusion. So when other individuals, they look at you and they say, they think you're weird. No, you want to know the truth? It's actually the opposite. Here's how it works. There's two fundamental forces going on here. Actually, there's three forces. You have a physical force, which your body and the mind interacts with through the intellect, mind, or the ego. Then you have a spiritual force, which is the energies of frequencies, vibration, different beings, intuition. And then you have another force, which is known as the etheric. The etheric is the background, we call radiation, or the background frequency of who you are. It's like the shadow version of the frequencies of who you are. So the etheric is pretty powerful because the etheric basically is a copy of the spiritual, but in a more raw, dynamic, and fluent, energetic form. So a lot of individuals that are here, they don't have souls. I want you to think about that.
Pay attention.
There are many people walking around this earth that literally don't have a soul. Now, what do I mean by don't have a soul?
Wow.
Here's the term. Their consciousness is turned off.
There you
They're
go.
Robots. That's what I call they don't have a soul. So when these individuals are around, these are the individuals that you really, through your day-to-day life, get in contact with. That's why they can't understand you. That's why they shun you, or they look at you as different, because they're turned off. They're plugged out. Their consciousness is not on. They're butts. So what is a butt? A butt is an individual that can easily be programmed by the system, the government, society, the media, everything. They're all butts. They've been programmed. So you are indeed the chosen one. So you came here to do something. Your mission now is being revealed to you. So this is where you're going in. You're going into that, what I call that cure stage, where you're becoming metaform. You're metaforming yourself now. You're becoming that true person you are meant to be.
Amen.
That's why you may feel lonely. You may have to dummy down your conversation, because you're getting information from these two different realms. You're getting information from the spiritual and the etheric realm. So when you talk to people, it could be your family members, your friends, everyone. They can't understand what you're saying.
They don't, do they?
It's like you're speaking a foreign language.
Yeah.
That's what makes you feel so lonely, because you think, I don't have anyone to communicate with. I don't have anyone to understand. But yes, you do. You have millions, even billions on the planet of other like-minded individuals like you.
Amen.
All you have to do is keep doing the work, focusing on yourself, and you're going to attract all the right ones to come around. But remember how it works now, right? The dead weight will have to fall in order for you to elevate. So that means you're going to lose a lot of friends, maybe even relationships, maybe even family members along the way, because the universe and your purpose that God, the universe, sent you has to be fulfilled. So they'll have to be removed. But your ego is the part of the mind that will hold on with grudgment or disheartening or regret. But you have to understand that you have to let that go, because if you want to reach your full potential, and if you want to achieve what's really there for you or meant for you, you have to let that go.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why you hold on and you feel so attached to people, individuals, places, because it's the ego mind. So once you learn and say, oh, if I let this go, something better will come along. Yes, you're going to attract and resonate like-minded light workers like yourself. Now, what's the purpose? So why are you the chosen one? What makes you different than everybody else? Well, what makes you really different is you have something, you know how to fix reality. Anybody that comes in your life, you know exactly how to help them, what they need.
There you go.
Even yourself, sorry. You all have the power to deliberately create your reality, or what's called the matrix. That's a very powerful information and knowledge. Money can't buy that.
No.
That means you literally know how to manipulate what we call physical reality and bring it into whatever you want. That's why you're becoming awakened. That's why you're the chosen one. Because your state of mind now, you're gaining knowledge from a higher realm. And robots, or these soulless individuals are called bots, they can't understand that because their consciousness is turned off. Now maybe in time they'll be awakened to and their consciousness will turn on. But right now, there are more empty souls than awakened individuals. So that's why this is a time for you to pursue your passion and your dream. So no more feeling lonely, no more feeling anxiety. It's a part of the process. Now you know your power. Now you know how powerful you truly are. Now you know how the people work and how the system works. Now you can take your control and work on yourself. Because what you're understanding, and here's the most powerful information that they will ever share with you. Here it is. You are indeed the true source of your reality.
Amen.
Each individual inhabits his or her own bubble reality or universe. That's right. Everything that you see around you right now, you're in control of it.
Bless you,
You
truly.
literally can split the universe to create whatever movie you want to call it or lifestyle you want to create. They can't tell you that, but you know that now. The empty souls, or what I call the robots, they can't know that. That's why they're easily programmed. They're turned off. So when you feel you have to dummy down your conversation around people, or you can't really say what you think around people, they look at you weird. Now you know the truth. It's not you. You're perfectly fine. You're chosen. You're here. You're gaining knowledge from another source that the mind can't comprehend right now. So don't judge those individuals. Just be compassionate for them.
Amen.
Understand that they haven't begun yet. Understand that they aren't tuned in. So this is not the time for you to judge them and say, "Oh, you can't. You're not good." You know, just be compassionate and know that they know their story. That okay, they don't understand. That will help you elevate even more. So now you know why you don't fit in. So what can you do to help yourself even more? Well, with this knowledge and information, because you're gaining information or intelligence from a different higher source of the superconscious mind, you can now change reality by expressing love, abundance, by helping others, being of service to others. You start to do this, the reality changes and the vibration of the planet raises.
Amen.
Vibrational force.
Come on.
And you raise that consciousness and then you bring it in. That's why you're here. So you start with yourself, then you help others. Always remember this. You cannot help people if you don't help yourself first.
There you go.
Your cup has to be literally overflowing so it can trickle down and help others.
Amen.
Not even full. Your cup can't even be full to help people because then you're spilling. Your cup has to be overflowing. That means you have to be so connected and so tuned in that you have so much knowledge and information that it's just being spilled all over and there's excess for everyone. That's when you can help people. So the first thing, do the work. Focus on yourself. When the universe is doing something, when people or relationships seem to not work or they're breaking apart, don't fight. Don't try to hold on to it. It's the dead weight being released. You just can't see it right now because you're tied into a physical conceptual reality through the intellect or the ego mind. So there you have it. These key components will bring you your true desire. You'll meet the right partner, the right perfect person for you. You'll meet the same person on the same vibrational level, and you'll say to yourself, wow, why was I even holding on to that old relationship? Why was I holding on to that old job or that position or that person? Because now you have something better that came in for you. And you have to understand that your mind can't see that because it's an intellect mind, it's a judgmental mind, and it's connected to the imperfect field or resonance of the matrix, what we call it, this false prism of reality. Now you know, use this and continue to spread love and awareness.
And that gorgeous. How good was that? How good was that? Oh, we got Fiona again, bless her. Right. Hopefully that's brought some sort of new understanding to who you are. You know, yeah, Bill Thompson's Boys Wide Awake. Bill, by the way, is a proper legend. Bill come into this information quite a few years ago. He's run with it, and he's made his own miracles happen. Bill knows who he is, and his son certainly knows who he is. They come across some issues with the Matrix, and the Matrix was rather nasty to them. And when the Matrix is really nasty to people, guess what it's doing? It's waking people up. The more that they take, the more cars, the more kids, the more houses, the more souls wake up. It's a win-win. Well, it's not a win if you're copying it, at the end of these. The maniacs, they can only be described as maniacs because they're comfortable with doing this stuff. They're absolutely comfortable with the misery. They're absolutely comfortable with taking your children, your homes, your cars. They're comfortable with it. They have no problem. They don't lose sleep. They don't check their consciousness. They couldn't care. And that's sad, but they're bots. My son's sort of 50-50, I think. Obviously, he takes after his old man. He's definitely got my genes in him. It's a gorgeous boy. He listens, he understands. He's just trying to live his life the best he can, as we all try to do. And I'm very proud of him. Very, very proud of him. He's got a good, loving nature. He just likes to do nice things, and for that I'm very grateful for. He's a very good lad. So, ladies and gentlemen, look, we have a duty and an obligation to be the change, right? And to do it in a nice way. It's not about us being all right, it's about doing the right thing. That's such a powerful statement. Okay. Dr. Dawson saying, got a letter the other day. I wanted to claim universal credit to get help, but their contract did not come. It's just a contract. We're the councils. They're bots. They're robots. Now, I want to try, if I can. I'm going to try and find. Let me see if I can get back on my Facebook. I want to show you. I like to give you the God's honest truth, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not biased, like the BBC or anything like that. If I can find it, I'll play some of it. Okay. Oh, this is quite interesting. Joey Crowson says Tom Hanks goes to Greece and becomes a Greek citizen. Greece is a non-extradition country. Nothing to see here, folks. Yeah, Tom Hanks and his wife. Pizzagate ordering pizzas at who pays £10,000 for a pizza? But they're obviously not talking about pizzas. So Tom Hanks now currently in, but don't worry, if Trump wants to go in and get Tom Hanks, Trump will go and get Tom Hanks. He'll send his military in, and he'll send his SEALs in, and the Greeks will just go, help yourself, lads. You don't. Greece, on comparison with America, I can't even talk about it. So, if for some strange reason that Tom Hanks thinks he is okay and safe, be under no illusion that the most powerful man in the world, Donald Trump, is. I think he's here to clean the world up. I think he's doing a fantastic job. Oh dear, what we've got here, so a little bit of wife battery going on there in the thingy of peace. Which right are you willing to give up because others feel uncomfortable? I mean, Fiona Jane Pullen. Which rights are you willing to give up because others feel uncomfortable? Listen, ladies and gentlemen, we're all the same species. We're all men and women and children of the same bloodlines, of the same energies, okay? We are not fighting against one another. We're just really not, okay? Let me see. It was on Facebook, I think, Tracy shared the video. It was a video today of Tracy and the team at a police base, trying to give him some facts, and the police are just, they're bots, aren't they? They're robots. I can't find it. Maybe we'll have to do this one tomorrow. I'll find it and save the video, and away we go. It's 8:31. I guess I best go and make some grub, to be fair. Oh, hello. Someone. Hillary, look. Oh, hello. Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton, look, on a jet. Look. Masks, anybody? Oh, no, it's 2018. Look, sat there. Well, they're pigs, aren't they? They don't know. I don't suppose Bill he'd know how to be a gentleman, in fairness. F Tom Hanks, F Bill Gates, F the NWO, and F Facebook, fact checkers. Oh, yeah, there's some lovely fact checkers on Facebook right now. Myself, mainly my videos are inclined to just really and truthfully bring people over to my YouTube channel, which I do all these interactions with now, and I think we have a thoroughly better time over here than we ever did on Facebook. So Facebook for me is really it's a bit of a toast. I'm done. I'm done with that over there. It's just about getting people to come over to this side now, and once I'm done that, then I shall shut the account down on Facebook, and they can crack on. Let me find, see if I can. Just bear with me, ladies and gentlemen, before you all disappear. He still has the tag on his leg, but he will be taken in the second wave. That is what all the second wave is after the indictments have been served. They will go get him. Yeah, if Tom Hanks thinks that by going to Greece, he somehow swindled Donald Trump, then he's deluded. But then Forrest Gump was deluded, wasn't he? Let's find Tracy Blackwell and see whether I can Tracy of the family Blackwell. And we'll see if I can find this video. If I can find this video, and if these scenes don't haunt you, here we go, then I really don't know what future you're in for. And that's the dichotomy, is I really don't know what your future is. Just bear with me whilst this sets itself up.
Is that your colleague? Is that your colleague?
Look, what I want you to pay attention to is all these weapons, guns. Look, people, are you failing to see what's going on in your country? Is it that you just can't be asked?
Look.
It's your duty.
Look at the guns, look.
They're your job, the councilman.
Your duty is
Look, couldn't care. Couldn't care less this. Look, they couldn't. Them ones behind the gates couldn't care less. We'll cover this video tomorrow night, ladies and gentlemen. For now, I'm going to bid you all good evenings. I will encourage many of you to join and subscribe, press the like button for future notifications, and we can crack on that way. Also, Wake Up UK, I've got a radio show on there every Thursday night between 9 and 10:15, and we have a blast. We have some really good people come in, some great guests, and we're rocking and rolling over there. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, we have immense fun. So for now, I will catch up with you all very, very soon. Thanks for joining me tonight. We're at 1 hour and 10 minutes. Boy, let me tell you, time flies when I've got you lot in the house. Watch this video back. Please share this with your friends and family and just get them to watch it. I'm just a man in England. You know, I care about my country. I care about your futures. For me, it's not about me. I'm 53 years of age. I've had a good life. If I died tomorrow, I'd say hallelujah. It's not about me. This is for the children. You've got to, what sort of a future, what country are they going to grow up in when you've got public servants with mass weapons of war like this, inflicting great violence on us and subverting us, the very thing that's important in this country, the people. Think on, and I'll see you all very soon.